Race is a short word with a long and delicate history. The idea of race, just like you and I, was created and modeled to fit society's needs to classify people by their physical attributes. Therefore, it is a powerful idea that has left a huge imprint in our history. This concept has distorted our economies, ideas, values, politics, laws, and social interactions. Despite of its complexity, it has made its way into today's society, adapting and becoming a huge part of our social structure.
The idea of race originated during the European era of exploration, when Christopher Columbus discovered the Americas. The Europeans encountered people in the Americas that looked, talked, and acted much differently than themselves. Scientists since then have classified the human species into races. After the white man was introduced to the less sophisticated and savage beings that colored people were considered to be, the sense of a superior race immediately kicked in.
In the American colonies, the first laborers were European indentured servants. When African laborers were forcibly brought to Virginia, beginning in 1619, status was defined by wealth and religion, not by physical characteristics such as skin color. But this would change. Over time, physical difference mattered. And with the development of the transatlantic slave trade, landowners began replacing their temporary European laborers with enslaved Africans who were held in permanent bondage.
These ideas led to the emergence of a new social structure, one in which the white man was obviously at the top, while the native Indians, the Africans, and both of their descendants were at the very bottom. These people were considered to be slaves, and therefore property of the white man, who in reality was no better of a person than any.
Since then, the white man is believed to be a figure of dominance and of power, someone who is in control of other people. However, racism is a problem that is present no matter what color of skin you are. For example, a Chinese citizen may be racist towards people that are considered white. African American people may be racist towards citizens of the Middle East. It is a universal problem that affects each and every one of us, no matter what race you identify with. Us humans tend to be judgmental of things that are not common to us, and this is something that has to change. In today's media, we see a lot of coverage on racism on blacks, Muslims, Latinos, Asians, and even whites. Most of these occurrences are stereotypes that appear in the media, politics, and in society as a whole. The media is a huge part of this problem. We tend to listen to the things that are presented to us on our screens, and this information influences us to think in a negative way, making comments about the victims or the subjects at hand based on their race and upbringing. Recently, there has been a significant amount of racial matters covered by newspapers, channels, and websites. In politics, the most notable case is the one of Barack Obama, who is the first black president of the United States. The media talks about his accomplishment as it was something that no one could have seen coming due to the color of his skin, and comment on his achievement based on the racial prejudice that surrounds it. Finally, we apply this lesson to our lives. It affects our workspace, learning facilities, and even our homes. Most notably, the incident that occurred a couple of months back with a student in Texas named Ahmed Mohammed, who was falsely accused of constructing a bomb, which was indeed a homemade clock. We view racism as a negative aspect in our society, one that has haunted us since the age of exploration. The ideology of classifying people based on how they look in groups of their own kind is an erroneous and ignorant way of identifying diversity. Sadly, it is a mistake that we are doomed to repeat in the years to come. Prejudice is not something one is born with. It is learned as we grow up watching the world around us. The idea of race will prevail long after we are gone. Unfortunately, it's not something that can disappear easily. Instead, we can learn from our mistakes and introduce new ideas in its place. decreasing discrimination, and the undervaluing of people of different cultures and upbringings can and will allow humanity to progress as a united species.